Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to Train World TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Don't forget, you can shop online at trainworld.com for all your model train needs. Now, without further ado, enjoy today's video.
All right, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to Train World TV. Today, we have a very special live event, and we have some of the top influencers in our industry, specifically for the O-scale realm. And it's really an honor to introduce these folks here tonight, and I'm sure a lot of people already know who they are, as we just lost one of them, but hopefully he'll kick back on. But Chris from RBP Trains on YouTube, how you doing, Chris?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, we're here with you all are the top influencers. Ben and I just make online content. That's all.
Yeah.
No. You guys are it. And we also have Ben's Trains on IG, Instagram. How you doing, Ben?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Just happy to be part of the set here. So thank you for having me.
All right. And Ben's going to go live on his IG channel later tonight. Train Talk Tuesday, right?
Yeah, Train Talk Tuesday.
All right. And that's it. He's always amped up for trains. And we also have Chris's Trains and Things on YouTube. How you doing, Chris?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited to talk about the catalog, and just excited for another year of trains here.
All right, awesome. A teacher by day and influencer by night, and he's always got some great stuff and reviews, and also on the
Classic Toy Trains.
Yes, Columback. So that's pretty cool. He does some great reviews there.
It's crazy. Don't read my mind. That's a scary place to be.
Don't mess it up, Ken. Just get it out. So always great to see you on tonight. And Ken Sr. is on the show as well to discuss his top pick as well. He hasn't had a chance to see the back end on what people are ordering, so I'll go through that and give a kind of an update. But we want to just kind of talk about the top picks from these three key guys. I mean, you see them all over the internet and social media, and they're really great guys. If you haven't met them or seen their channels or social media pages, definitely check them out, because they're truly great ambassadors for the hobby, for everyone. Not on tonight, just in general for the train industry. They do a lot for everyone. So we really appreciate it. And it's really amazing how many people are doing this and ask these guys for tips and help. And they're always more than welcome and give a lending hand to that. So we truly appreciate that. And as a token of appreciation, we're going to do a raffle. We're going to raffle off a box car tonight with the new Lionel catalog. And this is the catalog with the top picks we're going to talk about. So put in the chat, hashtag Chris Ben, and the state you're from, and we'll pick a winner out, and we'll raffle off. We'll ship this boxcar pulpwood flat tonight. So.
What if they like type Ben Chris or Chris Ben Chris?
We'll see if we picked them, I guess. Could be.
Yeah, Kenny, I was talking to Lionel today, and I'm saying a lot of people are talking about the catalog, but they want to hear what the influencers have to say. They want to hear what their top picks are before they start placing those orders. It's very important to you guys. You guys are an asset to the industry for all manufacturers, and your input is very, very important. And I thank you for doing this for us.
Yeah. And it's funny, before the show, Chris was saying, "Oh, you guys probably got a sneak peek way ahead of time," and I feel like it's the other way. You guys get the sneak peek ahead of time. We have no idea.
Hey,
it's we're
only one person on this stream had the Miami set months before it showed up, and I even sent him a DM, and he ghosted me. Thanks, Ben. I thought we were better than that. Whatever.
That wasn't. See, first of all, let me get my side of the story. That was a custom run from Mr. Muffins. The set I just got last week, like everybody else. So, all right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's kick it off with Chris from Chris's Trains and Things. Let's show his top pick tonight. So hang tight. We'll share his screen.
Hey Train World fam, it's Chris M from Chris's Trains and Things on YouTube. It is time for the Volume 1 catalog, and I'm excited to see the Penske S2 turbine back again. Since 2014, I don't have one of these in my collection. I'll be picking up number 2531450. It's going to be the one with the smoke lifters. Really excited to add that to my Penske collection. Which model are you excited about in this new 125th anniversary catalog from Lionel?
Awesome. Very nice. So very cool. Penske guy. So why don't you talk about why you picked this, Chris?
Yeah. So, I mean, just being a Penske person, anything that's a unique Penske locomotive, we love to have in our collections. And the S2 certainly fits the bill for that. You know, not the most successful of locomotives, but it just goes, I think, to show and demonstrate the Penske's strive for innovation and producing the next best locomotive with what they had. And, you know, the S2 had obviously not the, like I said, not the most successful history in the world, but such a unique locomotive with the turbine mechanism that it has. The 4 stacks on the roof are so distinguishable compared to any other locomotive that's out there. And, you know, they're offering a bunch of different schemes in this. I had originally, in my original catalog dating video that I did, was going to do the as-built version. What I'm looking for is the smoke lifters, the smoke deflectors version of 6200. I think it's just going to look really cool. It's got the darkened drivers. This might be one that I weather in my collection also. I think it would just look really, really great with some light weathering and pulling some of those Broadway limited passenger cars that Lionel's released in the past. So I'm really excited about this locomotive. They're saying it's going to have the turbine sounds instead of chuffs for the exhaust sounds, which will just make it stand out on the layout as well. And, you know, it's a 27-inch long locomotive, so it's pretty big. Hopefully we can get some good sounds pumping out of this thing, and it'll look great going around the layout.
Now, what kind of curves you got on your layout?
Yeah, so my layout is a minimum 072 curve, so it can manage and suit one of these things, not a problem. I've had an older TMCC version on my layout that was brought over by a buddy of mine who's another big Penske fan, and I've got one area going up to my upper loop where it's a little just slightly uneven, and the 3-axle leading and trailing trucks and then the big drivers didn't quite appreciate that section of layout. But my 2 main loops should not be a problem, so I think I'll be able to make this thing work. And if it doesn't work, then at that point I'm going to just have to fix the mistakes in my track plan, and we'll go from there.
And when you talk to your fans out there and people chiming in, do they usually have like the large setups like you, or they usually go to a club? Because 072, I mean, the S2 is a huge engine. So do you feel like a lot of people have that size, or it's just more of an admiration piece on the mantle?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I get a lot of people that reach out, and they really do like the smaller locomotives that they can navigate those really tight curves. Because I'm very blessed that I have the large basement space that I do to have my setup, and I know that is rare. And unfortunately, clubs are becoming more and more rare because of the real estate and things associated with that. But it's a great opportunity for someone to get involved in a club if it's a model that you want. So if, let's say, your layout can't fit the S2, but you've got a club nearby and you've been hemming and hawing about maybe joining. Well, here's a great opportunity, something in it for you. You can run your model on that club layout, go join and help expand the fun and the success of that model railroad club that's maybe in your neck of the woods. But I've got a lot of big locomotives on my layout, and it doesn't seem to deter people too much. They don't say that they don't like seeing the big locomotives either. So I think it's a delicate balance of making sure we're showing the small stuff, but also showing some of the big, powerful steam locomotives that Lionel can release.
That's great. And obviously, being from Pennsylvania, it's a railroad state. Everybody loves Pennsylvania. Actually, a sales rep from another manufacturer said, just stick Pennsylvania on anything and it will sell out. So I'm sure the S2, especially with the history and everything, will be a sure top pick, great seller.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's, it's obviously, famous standard railroad. So it's going to be another great addition to the collection, all those other Pennsy collectors out there. And we certainly have a lot of them locally here. So I'm sure we'll have more than one on the layout at some point in time here in the future.
Awesome. Very cool. Great stuff.
Yeah, Ken. Also, Chris, you hit the nail on the head with this 072. These guys with these 4x8 layouts, they got to add a foot going around. They are missing out on these great engines that Lionel is making. You got to can't be that hard to do. Just stretch the layout, stretch a little bit, a foot on each side, and start running this big stuff, because the big stuff is just fascinating. It's really, it's like having a real train run on your track, for sure.
It is. It is, and I know that it's tough to expand the layouts from time to time. Sometimes you're up against it. I had to expand my layout for a diesel facility, and when I realized I had to extend it, I did it all in one night and did all the scenery right away, so that way my wife wouldn't notice. And it took her a couple months to actually realize that it had been done. So I heard from her afterwards when she realized that I extended the layout a little bit. But I understand that it can be tight when you've got close quarters.
So the secret is to do it at night while the wife is sleeping. That's it. All right.
Ben's got his notebook out and jotting down tips. Oh boy! All right. Well, great stuff, and it really is a beautiful engine. So we're looking forward to it. And it's funny, on the S2s we did look, and the Pennsylvania is great looking and truly traditional, but the CNO fantasy scheme actually is outselling everything so far. I know some people aren't into that, but the paint scheme just pops out on something like that. It's totally unique, different, and people seem to be ordering it. But great stuff. Hopefully Pensy overcomes the challenge.
We'll see.
So many
CNO scheme is so popular.
That's right. Awesome. All right, so Chris chimed in on his top pick. So we are going to go through, and we'll shoot over to Ben here in a second with his top pick. So actually, one more second. Okay.
What's going on, Train World fam? It's your boy Ben from Ben's Trains on Instagram and YouTube. Lionel just dropped that new Volume 1 2025 catalog. What I'm looking at is that gold-plated line Vanderbilt steam locomotive. That is item number 252-1125. Let me know in the comment section what you're looking at.
Wait a minute. Before you order, my comment is all of these boxes better be
Okay.
Oh man, Ben.
Hey, this is real
We
life.
know who's really behind your channel, Ben. We know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Bless her
not
heart.
hard to come up with this content because this is real life. So,
So tell us about your topic and why'd you pick it?
Okay, so I guess reason number one is about strategy when it comes to these catalogs. I know I'm going to get multiple things, right? So if I start off publicly announcing one of the more expensive items, then every other item I get thereafter is not as much of a hit with the wife. So I mean, it's all about strategy. So this one in particular, I thought it was extremely eye-catching. The gold just popped out at the page to me, and I thought, man, I know there are not going to be any passenger cars with it, but come Christmas season, that gold will look good with pretty much everything. The Sleigh Bell limited passenger cars, or the Atlas cars with the lights on them. You could pretty much run it with anything. So, and then it also looks good on the shelf as well. And again, gold plated. I mean, it has the potential to look extremely good if it's done right. So I think I'm all in on this one.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And you're already getting some slack out here. She's really the star of Ben's channel. So
yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I know. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And I think Lionel said that the side of the locomotive actually will have some texture to it, which should be interesting. So anxious to see how that comes out. It would be nice if there was like some sample or something like that. But yeah, I'm all in on this one.
That's awesome. And of course, it being 125 years, this is definitely something unique and different for that gold, look of Andy Hudson. And it's kind of like the traditional gold-plated Hudson that they did a long time ago. Ken Sr. probably remember that.
I'm not that old. But I think this is going to have a much better finish. I think the way the Commodore kind of has like that waviness to it along the side. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Pretty cool to send.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. It's definitely glass display box status. So.
Now, are you going to run it or display it mostly?
Oh, I'm gonna do both. Yeah, I'm gonna do both. So yeah, I'm starting off with that as my top pick, my number one.
All right, but we know you got 100 top picks in the catalog, right, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like the trains with wheels on them. So
awesome, very cool. And that great job, Ben, with that topic. I think certainly it will be a great seller in the catalog for this year as well. And Chris had something similar, but maybe a little bit different paint scheme. So we're going to bounce over to Chris from RBP Trains. So hang tight while I get his screen sharing.
What's up, Train World fam? This is Chris from RBP Trains, here to tell you my top pick for the 125th anniversary catalog from Lionel. And that's going to be the Commodore Vanderbilt Hudson. 2025 is the year of the Hudson. The Commodore Vanderbilt has not seen action in years. It's been a long time since this has been made. So I'm really happy to see it coming out in Legacy. I believe it will be the most collectible engine that is in this catalog from a scale model perspective. So order yours today at trainworld.com.
Awesome.
I mean, need we say more? 2025 is the year of the Hudson. The whole 125th anniversary catalog is like anchored around the whole Hudson, just the Hudson offering, right? And the Vision Hudsons that we see, and I was talking to the team before this call, I think a lot of folks know, and some folks may not, that the scale Hudson from the pre-war era, that's the only engine I really have to handle with a towel, is the whole reason why the Hudson is such a big deal in the first place. And this is one I picked up around Christmas time, and we'll talk about this when we talk about the Hudsons in general. But in my opinion, the Hudson is the perfect scale model to put into this catalog. And I've heard some static around it, like, oh, they did it before, but there's so many variations this time, including the Commodore Vanderbilt. And if you are a vintage collector, the legacy models that are blue and red will likely appeal more to you. If you enjoy something more prototypical, there's the one I held in the video, which is, the old school TMCC version. But the one I'm most excited about is the Christmas version that's going to be really highly compatible with that Sleigh Bell limited set. Or like what Ben said, those colorful trains are really great around Christmas time. And coming out of the Christmas season, this was one of the most explosive O-gauge Christmas seasons that I've ever had or have ever seen, as far as engagement and folks participating in all kinds of activity. And it may be because it was the year of the Polar Express last year, but going into this 125th year, there's all of these great things. And I know that Train Worlds, you're making your own custom Christmas Hudson. I'm kind of debating, like, what am I supposed to do, Commodore or yours? I don't know yet. But this model, in my opinion, is going to hold up for the long term in terms of collectability. Like having that, if you own one of the TMCC Commodore Vanderbilts, it's kind of a slug to operate. I mean, it really is. So having something with a legacy drivetrain in it is going to be outstanding. And that is why the Commodore Vanderbilt is my pick in terms of the high-end scale stuff that's in this catalog. The year
that's a beautiful engine, and I don't think they've ever done paint schemes like Christmas or Halloween in that yet. I think that's the first time around in something like that.
That's right, and they got the Halloween one and the Polar Express one. There's so many of them, but kind of like Ben, I got to narrow it down and pick one to start, and this is where I am right here on the screen. This Christmas version.
That's awesome. And I think your layout behind you is getting bigger and bigger every time I see you on TV.
Well, I assure you it's not, but
either that or more trains on it.
Well, yeah, every time I keep getting Train World boxes. I got to stop. It's sickness.
Is your train layout fan driven? That big motor fan you have in the back there? It generates the power?
Oh, yeah. That's what operates it. Yeah, the big fan.
Very
and the fireplace.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's coal it's coal powered with the fireplace. But
as cold as it is, I really should take that part of the layout out and get a fire going in there. It'd be a lot warmer in this room. It's cold down here right now.
May be dangerous, but yeah. So do you run Christmas trains only during Christmas time, or you run it all season?
So I mainly run them during Christmas time. We've done this yearly event. I actually did a short reel on this holiday Christmas themed layout that my family puts together. It's at a local craft show, and we do it one day a year. It takes us 3 days to set it up. It runs for one day, and then we dismantle it, and it's nothing but Christmas. And I put a short up this year to actually show it. I've never actually shown it to the public, and I don't really advertise it, but we do it. And then my train layout just becomes Christmas from that point on through the end of the season. And now we're back into the whatever season. I got some RBP stuff running, got some post-war stuff running around. It's going to be a fun year for trains because we have this mixture of trains for the collector and the operator. You don't like the vintage throwback stuff? Buy one of the CSX ES44s, right? There's so many options out there, and they really bolster the ready-to-run stuff. I'm really excited about all the battery O. Like my kids, they really want that. They really want that Harry Potter one and the Barbie one. I have 3 girls, so.
Listen, if you got a girl, you got to go with the Barbie. I got the battery powered Barbie set for my girl, so it's. I thought it was cool to try to bring them into trains, and what better way to do it than Barbie? So it was pretty cool. And we looking at the pre-orders. Even though Ben and Chris picked out a Vandy Hudson, the Commodore Hudson, the paint schemes were not the number one so far. So far, the number one is the blue version, which it is actually very interesting.
That is.
I believe it was the blue streak. If I'm not, Ken Senior would probably know more. Ken Senior, if you remember the blue streak. But maybe that's why they're going for it, kind of paying homage to the the olden age, but the blue is pretty. It is a nice color.
It is. No, I mean, it really is. They're all outstanding looking sets. It's going to be tough to pick.
Mm.
And there's going to be some folks that just wreck them all. They're going to be like, oh yeah, here's all the Commodore sets, and we can admire from afar. That'll be Ben by the end of the year, or Eric.
That's it. Now, you guys went high end with this catalog, which is awesome. For my top pick, I kind of went something fun, but there were a couple of something for everyone, whether it's line chief, high end, rolling stock. But I thought this was totally unique. I thought the Rock and Sock robot, I thought that was pretty clever to put around the gondola. And, I remember playing that as a kid. So I thought that was cool to see it going around the gondola. I thought that was fun. And it's something different. I would have never guessed a Rock and Sock robot train, but I thought it was pretty clever. Years ago, they did a Pez train, and something nostalgic like that just was a home run for Lionel. So I think this has that kind of nostalgic nature where everybody remembers that as a kid, Rockin' Sock'em robots. And I thought this was pretty fun. So as a traditional rolling stock, that would be not my topic there.
They can make it in Vision Line, and the aux 3 key makes them punch.
Yeah.
There you go.
And Ken Senior, what's your top pick?
Well, I look at things a lot differently than you guys. I mean, I don't really collect. I don't operate. I'm a retailer, so I got to look at something that's going to be the best seller for me, that I can sell lots of them. And this way I could become Lionel's #1 customer again, that type of thing. So far, 2 years in a row, so I'm very happy about that. But the Star Wars Stormtrooper chasing each other, I think that thing's going to sell like crazy. It's we're going to get a whole new generation of kids jumping into this, or teenagers, or young adults that are going to start buying this Lionel Star Wars stuff. It's I really think it's going to be a great thing. And if they limit it to 1 year only, I don't know what they're doing with it. But I think it's going to be very collectible, this Star Wars stuff. It's just crossing over to different types of collectors, different age groups. And it looks like a lot of fun. I think everybody knows Star Wars, every kid, different ages. So I think that's going to be my type of home run stuff.
I don't know if
I think you're right. I mean, and that Mandalorian Christmas car is my favorite one.
Yeah, that was a big seller, and we took a lot of orders on that.
Really? Okay.
I don't even know what
I mean,
I don't know what Mandalorian is. But it's
Star Wars and trains. I mean, who knew?
Yeah.
Well, have any of you guys been to Comic-Con?
No, I have not. But it would be a trip though. It'd be great. I know you all went.
Yeah,
you had a great time.
It was wild. My father keeps on talking about it and seeing the pictures, just the amount of people that went there, and it really had a lot of excitement around the event.
There it is.
Yeah. It's like a secret cult. You gotta know how to buy the tickets. You just can't go there and get in. You gotta buy tickets in advance. They gotta approve you. You gotta know somebody. It's like, holy mackerel. It's
the registration counts are so high. And, I think Lionel catches a lot of grief for going to that show, but wouldn't you rather go out and promote your product out in the public?
Exactly.
And there's an active audience out there for all this intellectual property type stuff, like the Disney and everything else. And they did really well there. And I think as a business person, it's a great way to promote. Like you want to cast the net, That's what Joshua Lionel Cowan did when he owned the company 100 years ago. He cast the net, and that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, it's not even about how much you sell there. It's the exposure to 100,000 people, maybe more than that, 150,000, I think, this year. And these are all like that. People will cross over. They collect this, they collect that, and I think it's going to open up a lot more people to see Lionel, that they're still around. Lionel's half the age of this country. That's huge. It's just like, wow, 125 years old and doing better than it ever did. It's They're doing fantastic. Howard Hitchcock did a great job in their team with this company. They keep making it grow, and they find little niches that'll work for them as a company, for us as collectors and operators and business owners. We're just Lionel Trains is cranking. It's cool to have Lionel. That's it.
And Chris, you were mentioning before the show the 80th anniversary of Thomas as well.
Yeah, I didn't want to overstep, but
Yeah.
I really think if you were to ask me what will be the most collectible thing, not the most collectible scale engine, I think that's the Commodore, and I stand by that. The
Right.
most collectible piece in the 125th catalog is this Thomas 80th edition boxcar. That is going to sell out. They're going to make a ton of them. They're going to sell out, and then you're going to see these pop up on eBay for over $400. Guarantee it. Just watch it.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's been 80 years, and Thomas has kind of like been the avenue for people getting into trains. For most of us, it's pretty amazing. So I thought that was
folks
neat.
that are true to the brand of Thomas have been praising the artwork they picked for this. So I think it's aligning well with that audience. You know, O-Gauge is not. I mean, all trains are kind of related in that Thomas realm. You know, and even though the HO scale has way more product line, I think this one's going to do really well for Lionel.
Yeah. Anything that's an anniversary, whether it's Polar Express or this year the Hudsons or Thomas, they could only make it 1 year, one run. That's it. Yeah. It's done. You better pre-order, get your order in. Either you're going to pay through the nose or you're not going to get one. One of the and that Thomas, you could be right on that. That could be a biggie.
I mean, I'm not a wizard, but like if I had to guess, like that's the one I'd say.
Awesome. Well, that's great to hear from you guys on the top picks. It's really helpful for everyone out there. And if you haven't seen these three on their social media channels, please make sure you check them out. They're great ambassadors for the hobby. They truly do great stuff. We actually have been working together with them over the past couple of years. And these are some RBP Trains exclusives that we're selling. We're taking pre-orders on this. We sold out of the Caboose recently, but you still have a chance to get your switcher. And also, Chris got it on display right there, looking good. And also, Ben's Trains, he's got his first exclusive up and coming. The tank car, the first number is pretty much almost sold out, so we're going to deactivate that shortly. So you got one more number to pick from. So he did a really great job with that paint scheme, and kind of each influencer has their little identity and kind of influenced on the designs and stuff like that. So they really did a great job, and they've done very well with those items. And we got to get, I was talking about Chris M. He's got to get on the book soon with us. So hopefully we could create something and get something going. But we'll be excited for that. But I want to thank everyone out there tonight. We really appreciate it. And if you like some of these top picks, or if you're interested in getting some items from the new catalog, head to trainworld.com, shop online 24/7. We list all the brand new Lionel products. And if you haven't subbed or checked out these influencers' channels, they do a great job. They talk about all the product in O scale and much more. Ben's very entertaining. Chris has a great positive show, and Chris M is really technical on all that great stuff, and does his own reviews on the other channels as well. So we really appreciate them coming on tonight and being a part. We really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Thank you.